Okay, to transform X-Transbot's first aid to robot mode, first you need to untab the two posts that go up here on the top and on the sides on both. So grab the front and the back and then just give it a good grip and then just separate them down like so. And then you want to come to the back and you want to untab the bumper this side first because it has the mushroom tab, then rotate it out and down on top of the tire. Then do the same on the other side and on top of the tire. That's the official transformation. And then you can lift up the trunk and you can see the gun. You could just basically lift it upside down and it'll pop right out. And then you want to further extend the trunk out like so. And then you need to bring out these panel pieces on the bottom, which you have to push in on these two pieces here, and then it needs to go up. But there's an easy way I found. There's a post on this panel piece that goes into the hip on both sides, and if you just untab those, you can see that's kind of helping to untab up here. And if you see the top, it's kind of starting to open up the top. So there's the mushroom tab, and you can see, so you by trying to open up these side panel pieces, it kind of helps to loosen the bottom and it untabs the top. And I'll show you. There is the post that goes in here, attaches to the side. And then you have this out. But this, I need to come up more so you can see better. Okay, so now you need to bring this trunk piece over here, but you can see this angled piece is in the way. And so you need to try to get as much clearance as you can. So coming here to the top, it does open, but you see it stops. But that's because there's like a little nub, and you just push it more, and it comes up more like so. And then here at the angle, just help get room to get these feet out. And these are on a double hinge, so don't come here, grab close to the joint, because you can see when I'm grabbing here, it's using this joint. You need to rotate out at that joint, so that's why you need to grab close to the joint, because it's tight here, loose here. And then do the same on this side. Grab close to the joint, so you're rotating this piece so that the foot will come out all the way. And then these window pieces also untab and lift up, but they're folding in, so kind of leave it down for now. And this, like I was telling you, this is the hard part, trying to get this to flip over. So you can see it goes that far, then you don't have the clearance. So unfortunately, this is where you do have to bend plastic over plastic. And then you can see it's also back here. You don't have the clearance because of that transparent blue plastic is also in the way. But now this is where these side pieces will open up more after you bring that through. And then you can bring this up all the way like so. So this is not as easy as just, take the back panel, trunk piece, flip it over, because you saw that there are multiple steps involved just to work around the clearance issue here. But now that we got that done, these panel pieces on the bottom that form his lower leg, the front of his lower legs are all, loosened up. And now, after we did all of that, come back here, just quickly, safely untab the trunk pieces. There's two tabs. And then we can now split the legs apart at a wide A stance to give us room to work on. And we'll start with this leg. And you want to start rotating this panel piece. It's on a double hinge knee. So you trying to orientate it so you can see. So here's the thigh, and then the knee, the double jointed knee, you can see by the two screws. You need to rotate on the bottom one. That's where this rotating panel piece is. So you need to rotate this down at about 90 degrees. And then from here, now you want to untab this and bring this over by closing that angled piece. And then now we can continue. The waist keeps moving around. Now I just need to get oriented. So this is the orientation. And then we come here. Now we could work, trying to make sure, get a good grip where you could see everything I'm doing. Get it all on camera. And then now we could work on this piece that people are having difficulty with. So first, you could see there is this rectangular piece here. It came up. This rectangular piece that has this little cutout right there, that's for this piece right here that forms the outer part of the leg here. And just to get this out, you need to step by step. First step is lift this up 90 degrees so that now you can bring up this rectangular piece at that angle. And then it stops here, but it goes more because there's like a little nub. So you need to continue to push this through. You heard a snap. So it's like at an angle, straight and going out at an angle. And then this will come down all the way. They put a nub here, but they don't put a nub here. So now this one's flopping around. Anyways, once you got that, then you can flip this over to the front. Now you see you have the thigh, the front of the lower leg, and this is at an angle. And now you need to complete this rotation, which is difficult because, you know, the knee joint, the double hinge, this one's on a ratchet that, you know, makes it tight, and this top one is not, and it keeps moving around. And so you need to find a way to just grab the correct place to hold just to continue this rotation. And this piece, like I was telling you, gets in the way because it keeps falling down. You know, this piece I was telling you right here, it doesn't really lock in place, but you need to be aware of it as you're trying to slowly and carefully continue this rotation here, which I told you is difficult because this thing keeps moving up. The joint on the top of the knee keeps moving, and there is not a lot of clearance here that you could see. That's why you need to do this all very slowly and carefully until you eventually get this straight, like so. Now we got that done. And then coming back here, that trunk piece, now you want, there's no clearance here, but now you just need to, the back piece, just make that sure that panel piece is folded in like so. And you need to know that this panel piece, the trunk panel piece, is behind this piece right here. You can't have it out. It needs to be in. And there is clearance issues here. You can see it's just hitting. But anyways, just telling you the orientation. And then you can close this. The back, it doesn't tab in. It just kind of sits here lined up next to it. But you need to make sure these are all straight. And that already did it up here. But as you're trying to do that, there is the tab here. So now I'm going to kind of have to do a little reverse so you can see. See, the transparent blue is the tab that goes into the slot right there. So as you're trying to get this all at right angles, you're also trying to get that tabbed in. And like I was telling you, this back panel, it does not tab in. There's a mushroom tab. It just stays kind of lined up like this. And then you come to the front, and then now we can tab in this piece into that slot very carefully. And then just obviously bring up his foot and then bring out the heel. And now we have one side of his leg done. So now you could do the same on this side. Okay, after you got the other side done, then we can come up now to the top. And here, the front bumper, you just want to untab it from the two sides. And then you can fold in the sides of the bumper and then rotate it around 180. And then you want to open the doors. And it only opens up that much, but you could see it's on a double hinge and a slider. So you want to slide it out and then kind of fold the door back closed a little bit. And then on the top hinge, bring it up all the way and then open the door. And this is the way to open the door up all the way. And we'll do the same on this side. So you want to open the door by untabbing it. And then you can see the difference here. And then there is on a slider, but you can see it doesn't open up all the way. So that's why you need to bend it down a little bit, and then that top hinge goes up, and then it opens up all the way. And then we can come down here to these windows and untab it from the top, bring it down, do the same on the other side. And then these arms here, you want to separate them. And it's a little tricky, but come down here and just separate them slowly and carefully. And then we want to come to the front, and there's no area to grab, so you need to bring this chest piece down. It's up here, so, and that doesn't tab in. It's just holding in by tight friction. Bring it down, the chest, and then bring out his head, and then rotate it around 180. And then these side of his chest, you can push these up till it snaps and locks in place. To snap and unlock it, slide it up, and then continue to go up until it snaps and locks in place. And just so you could see, this is what you're doing, the sliding angle piece. And then now we need to bring these arms out a little bit, because this part is a little bit tricky because there's a lot of rotating parts here. So this panel piece, you could see the hinge. This is the top. You need to rotate this rectangular piece so it's on the bottom. And you can see that's not easy to do because it's attached to this arm with all these hinges. So first, you need to make sure you have some room. So you need to take these window panel pieces and open these up all the way. So you can see it's at an angle like so. And then you can slowly start to rotate this inwards. But as you're doing that, you could see these arms come down. And then as you're continuing this to go around, you have this position and this door gets in the way also. But basically, you're trying to do that. So now, do the same on this side. So again, you're rotating this on that piece, but as you're doing it, you need to also be rotating this arm down, out, so you have the clearance to get this arm up and out of the way. Finally, and this doesn't really lock in place, so all these moving pieces end up causing difficulty with transforming it because these end up getting in the way because they don't stay in place. Actually, I wonder if I should see if I can try to fix that right now. Wasting your time with the transformation. I'm going to try to take a screw and see if I can tighten this a little bit more and see if, no, it's still wobbling. That's kind of like this joint too got loose after transforming it, so there's some kind of issue going on there. But anyways, once you got that arm, then this front window, you can bring it down, and with all this clearance, now you can rotate it around 180. There's a little panel piece you want to bring up. Yeah, I'm glad that happened because I don't know what this is for. It's maybe it's part of the combiner or something, but there's this panel piece that comes up. Anyways, you bring out this small panel piece that has a little tab. You tap in at the top at the end. And then here you want to bring down the seats, and you can see there are slots here. That's what I was telling you, these things swivel around. That's for these tabs up here. But now we got all of that. Now we can bring this down, and you can see there is a tab that goes into the slot down here. Tab it in, but it's going to kind of come untabbed later because now you're going to eventually when you're tabbing this in. But now these arms you can straighten, or you can straighten it up like this. And we need to get the room, so now we can bring the chest up, and I'm trying to find the right position to hold and get it all on camera because this, like I told you, is an issue. So I'm trying to use my fingers to hold it locked in this position, and pointing out there is the post right here on both sides that go into the slots right here. And this is a little hard to, line these up, but you need to bring this chest up. But you need to now get these doors, the panels, out of the way. And then you can lift this up. But now I'm using my fingers here to try to kind of help keep these up. Because you see, as it moves, that post is moving. So you need to keep these up vertical while you're bringing this up and trying to line up those posts to that slot. And see, this keeps rotating, but you keep it up. And it's not as easy as there's those posts and tab it in. You can see I'm trying to tab it in now. And if you did, you could see it should look like this, and then you give it a good squeeze. And then we got that done. And then from here, or did we? Because this is a little angled. Yeah, see this angle, it just, so I'm untabbing it and trying to do it again because this piece keeps swiveling. That's what makes this not easy to transform. So I'm doing it again because these things moving gets in the way. So you need to find a way to hold it in place so that those tabs, posts are going to line up. And then you need to bring it through. Get it in. It needs to tab in here. See if I can do it on the back. And that side's in. This side's in, I think. And then you need to make sure also, to make it even more complicated, this top piece doesn't tab in, but it, fits in this little chest cavity. So you get those two tabs in, push it in, and then this top piece needs to fit in that category. So you can see this is not as easy as just now lift this up, fold this in, tab it in. I'm just really trying to make it clear. Now we can start cleaning things up here by folding in these window pieces and then fold that in. Do the same on the other side. Bring it in like so. And then here, this piece is, like I was telling you, this tab is going to come untabbed because now you're folding this down and there are two tabs on those black on the bumper that are going to go into the slots back here. And then you need to use these hinges here to help guide that up. And it's not as simple as tabbing those in, because maybe you could see the two screws here need to go underneath this neck piece. And there's like a little nub there that's going to fall into, that circle shape. So you're trying to do multiple things, trying to get those two blacks to tab in while pushing this down to make sure that this goes underneath. And make sure that this all gets tabbed in here. Make sure. And this chest piece is already coming undone. Need to get the clearance, so get his arms out of the way and then give it a good push. And I don't like squeezing on this type of plastic. Once you do, now you can see this is the way it should be. that rectangular panel piece that attaches to the arm that keeps moving around. You can see it's kind of fitting into the chest cavity, and then you can see the tabs, the black tabs from the bumper go into the slots there, and then those 2 screws on the top here, they go underneath the neck joint. So I'm pointing it out because it's not as simple as just, okay, now just lift this up, tab it in, because you could see how difficult it is, and I'm not sure if you're seeing how careful I'm trying to be because of the type of plastic. But anyways, now we can fold the window at 90 degrees so that we can fold that in on both sides. And this one, that slider, you just need to make sure these are slided down like so. And then here's this tab here that goes into the slot. Tab that in and give it a careful, gentle squeeze. And then the last thing are these arms. And these joints here are really tight. And just a simple thing as trying to bring it down is you have to apply force, and every time you're applying force, it's causing stress and tension in other areas, such as this joint area. So you need to be very careful. So you need to grab close to the joint, and you do need to bring force just to rotate it. And I'm also going to make it clear, the screw does not loosen it up. So for whatever reason, it's really tight here, and I think it's the tolerance. And I don't think it's just the paint. I think it's just this plastic piece is just a hair too big, because you can see it's too tight. But you bring the arm down, and then on the bottom joint, you need to bring that up 90 degrees. And you need to do that because this is the only way that this panel piece on the forearm is going to open up 90 degrees so that you can flip out his hand. And then you can see on the bottom here, you just push in the siren light, and then you can close that panel piece, the post, and the tab. Make sure it's lined up, tab it in, give it a good squeeze so it's nice and flush. And then you can rotate his hand out, open, and I guess you could do this really quick. Just open the gun, and then find the tab and the slot, and line it up, tab it in, and give it a good squeeze, good tolerance here. And then do the same on this side, but I'm going to do it again just to show you that panel piece. First of all, I told you, yeah, it's tight here, so you have to apply force, and when you're applying force, it's causing stress and tension up here, and you don't want that. You don't want to damage this area. So grab force just to bring this down. And here I'm bringing it down, and then this is what I wanted to show you. So rotate the bicep, and you see, now when you lift this up, look, it does not go up anymore. That's what, and you could even see it, there's a little angle. That's why you need to bend it 90 degrees at the bottom hinge. And then that comes up all the way. And then you flip out the hand, push in the siren light, find the post here, close it, tap, give it a good squeeze, line it up, then you can open up his hand and then rotate it so it's facing forward. And after all that, now we have, just get them straightened up here, first aid. See, this is tight here. I don't want to leverage it from down here. Just hold here, bring it down, just to be cautious, safe, and careful with the figure. Now we have first aid in his robot mode.